the last couple days of March, zone 7B. Everything's waking up. We're gonna plant some new grapevine. We're gonna plant some new bare root grapevines. Only got a couple days left in March. We got a red flame seedless we just done. Back here we got a couple-year-old vine. This is the one I tore out. This was supposed to be a ladyfinger. Ended up not being a ladyfinger. They had some issues with their supplier, so they sent me 2 free ones. I chose a red flame and another Reliance. So I tore that bad. Horrible fungus issues. The grapes honestly wasn't bad, but they had horrible disease resistance. So we tore that out. We got the red flame. We have Lakemont and Somerset. Then back here will be 2 Reliances. There's the Reliance from Gurney's. Not really expecting anything from that. I fucking hate Gurney's. Everything I bought from them, I spent $400 on 3 plants, and everything has been garbage. Other than their first huckleberry died, so I had to buy another huckleberry, and it came awesome. Huge plant. I spent like $160. If you can see, not that stick coming out of the ground, yeah, that's dead. Showed up dead. $160. Anyway, this is a Reliance from them. The whole top's dead, so I may be able to get something to sprout from the bottom. Redo this vine. Not really thinking too highly of it. So we did, we dug a hole about, I go 2 feet deep, 2 feet wide, something like that. My trees, I go crazy. My trees, I put about 6 cubic feet. So depending on your soil bag, about 6 bags of soil down below it. Here, I used to do the 1 cubic foot bag of compressed. So it's probably like 2 or 3. Anyway, 2 foot by 2 foot. I'm using my go-to chicken carcass compost. It's like chicken manure, chicken carcasses. You can tell there's bones everywhere. I did about 70% of that with about 30% of the native clay soil. Got that all blended up. And from here, it's just as simple as digging some of it back out. Got roots from something. Some people do with strawberries. See that? You just cover it up. Try to cover it the same height they did. These are from TYTYGA. It's like TYTY Georgia Nursery. They are not grafted grapevines, but some places will have a grafted grapevine. Obviously do not want to plant that graft union, or you will get roots from the graft, or you will get roots from the fruit bearing portion. If they grafted it onto something, there's a reason. The graft roots, the rootstock will have drought resistance, disease resistance, some reason, more vigor, or maybe the actual fruiting portion makes really good fruit, but it's a bad tree. So maybe that genetic will have horrible disease resistance, or the slightest drought will kill it, or the slightest overwatering will kill it. It's picky. If they grafted it, there's probably a reason. So that graft union, make sure it's above the soil, or your roots will grow, or you'll grow roots from your fruit set. All right, once we got it packed down a little bit, give her a couple gallons of water just to glue everything together. That was actually just barely over a gallon. And then we'll throw some mulch on top of it. So there we go. I leave the plant tags on them until they actually wake up, start growing, get to that first trellis wire. Then I take the plant tag off and I'll hook it on the side of that plant, or on the side of the hook that plant is on. So just a tiny little update. No apple flowers. Peaches have flowered twice now. first freeze pretty well killed everything. It's supposed to be 32 today, which we should be good until 28. At 28, we'll get a 10% kill. At like 24, we'll get a 90% kill. So I think we are good. Lots of bees was in here. The other day it was 85 degrees. Makes no sense, this weather. But it was like 85 degrees. We had tons and tons of bees out here. All kinds of different wasp types. All kinds of different pollinator types. I didn't know what half of them were. And then as you can tell, I still have several that are not open yet. So that'll open after the freeze. Being barely open, their kill rate is a few degrees lower. So those will definitely survive. Petal fall will immediately die. As you can see, that petal fall is like, if it goes below like 32 at all, they will die off. Yeah, see, they're just falling. So anything that's already been pollinated and was trying to make a fruit, ooh, that one took. That did take. Got a little baby peach growing. So we'll see. That is the big girl. It's the Red Haven. And this one, I can never remember the name. It's like a white marbled peach. I'll try to put it down below. That Reliant, that Rainier Cherry, and this Van Sweet Cherry is dead. They ain't gonna come back. But this Reliance did make it. Or this Rainier Cherry did stay alive. So more than likely we will chop it down somewhere low and reestablish this tree. Lots of cicada damage, borer damage. I was hoping something would start below it so I could chop all that off. But it looks like this side, the one I wanted, that's actually straight up, is fully dead. So I will have to get something above the damage to reestablish this tree. Really to the point, by the time that starts over, I could just buy a new tree. I need to replace those two anyway. But dwarfing cherry trees from a reputable dealer, you're talking 130 bucks a piece at least, sometimes 160. I think there was a sale on Bings. I could have got them for like 78 bucks from Starks. Just really don't want to spend that right now because I need 3 or 4 of them. Do a little fertilizing of the trees. Tomato tum was on sale. I think it was like $9, so I bought 3 bags. Probably gonna need another 5 or 6 for everything else I got going on. But I got 1 for the trees, 1 for the garden, and then 1 for the watermelons. Had them put about 1.5 cups on the 2 older grapes. All the new grapes have compost. And about 3 cups per tree, at least. This large one could probably use 4 cups. 3 cups is for like 50 square foot of garden bed, but it's just top growing. So I could really put a lot more, but that's what we're gonna go with, about 3 cups. I'm gonna broadcast it around the drip line, which when you're fertilizing trees, your drip line is where the water would drip off of your leaves. So if your tree is 5 foot wide, you need a 4 or 5 foot ring all the way around your tree. Since this is a very heavy producing tree, I probably put 5 or 6 cups. I just put a few piles and then I did a sprinkle around there. And I'm gonna get a rake, till all that in. You will lose a lot in your wood chips. So if you're not raking back your wood chips, you pretty much need to double your fertilizer rate. So luckily these wood chips, it will fall through pretty good, but I'm not raking up the lower soil. And this is why you want wood chips. This was unusable, undiggable. Like needed a backhoe to dig 3 years ago. Arborist chips. not sawdust, arborist chips. It needs to be full trees cut up. The greens, the bark, the wood, everything. That is the back to Eden. So I'm gonna get that raked in and pour the rest across these other trees. This is not an efficient way to fertilize your trees, but especially if I can get them under 10 bucks a bag. If I gotta come in here every month with a $10 bag for these trees, 40, 50 bucks to fertilize all this stuff for 1 year, I'm okay with it. And it's organic. I love Espoma. We got the whole bag spread across all these trees. Now we're just gonna go back easily because this thing is very aggressive. My rake's on the other side of the property. So, side note, if you've ever seen this thing on Facebook videos, those little ads, this thing is amazing. Like, let me show you. I've been trying to weed this area. It's gonna be hard one-handed, but this thing gets up and just cuts the roots. Like, it just rips them right out. Thing's amazing. I've already been working this whole area, spread mulch. Using both hands, it's a lot easier. Look at that, that is amazing. Definitely worth the money. I feel like I got this on Amazon. It wasn't the one from the ad. The one from the ad was stupid. Just because it was viral. It was like 60 bucks. I think I got this for like 18 to 20. It doesn't come with a stick, so I went to 3 different hardware stores, no luck. And I got this, then I finally found a 60-inch handle that I feel like is perfect length for this. Because then you can grab it like this. 60-inch, I feel like it's perfect for my height. I feel like 60 inches is perfect for that. But yeah, I mean, it was maybe like 10 bucks at Real King for the pole. But it is well worth it. But now, like I said, I gotta be easy. These roots, like see, I can already feel. I'm grabbing the small feeder roots, the small fibrous roots. As you can see, I probably just ripped some out. Those orange ones. If you can focus on that in the sun. But these orange roots, that is from your fruit tree. And I noticed right here, it's fucking massive. I don't know if it goes to that tree or another tree or one of the 8 billion from the woods that's just crossed across the property. I don't know, I'm afraid to rip it, so just gonna cover it up. I had another one that it ran between these two grapevines into that far grapevine where I was digging that out. I pulled it out, I drug it all the way between these two grapevines, and I broke it at the ground halfway through there. None of these trees seem that big to grow a 40-foot root. And I didn't even get the end of it, so I don't know how far it went. But it could have came from the massive trees up there. Who knows? Other than willow trees, I didn't know roots spread this far. But maybe it was one of these, but that is a long tunnel for a 5-foot tall apple tree, or a 3.5-foot tall, 4-foot tall apple tree. It's just strange to me. I didn't think they could go that far. I did break it because that's ridiculous. You don't need nothing that far away. This whole thing is under wood chips, so everything stays good saturation. They don't need to travel that far to find water. They may have when they were young, but now that I've been adding wood chips every year, I have a solid layer of wood chips. Alright, that's all I got. Just gonna finish tumbling all this up. I have found a few peach seeds, the pits. When you do see that, throw them. They probably fell because of the plum curculio, or maybe just a squirrel, but see, here's a couple more. Get rid of them. If they fell for bugs, the bugs are in this pit. So get rid of them.